Hi everybody, this is Ashwavan. Thanks for watching Satrang. Satrang literally translated as seven color, and the idea behind this name is even though we came from like different countries and we might eat different foods, but at the end of the day, our goal is to make our life and our children's life better and contribute in the development of Canada. And it's my honor and pleasure to have one of the distinguished members of our community, Rachna, welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arshad.
Thank you. I want to ask about you, if you want to introduce yourself, like your education or something like that, please.
Okay. Thank you, Arshad. I want to say thank you for this opportunity to talk to your viewers on Satrang. I'm the president and CEO of the CANDU Owners Group. CANDU is the nuclear technology that we built in Canada, and it's in many countries overseas. So actually, in terms of my journey, my parents came to Canada. They were born and married in Lucknow in UP, India, and they came to Canada in 1970. And a few years later, they had my elder sister, and then they had myself. And so we are born in Canada, very proud to be here, and very proud of what they did to bring us here and offer us, these opportunities in our lives. Over the years, I went to University of Toronto and then graduated with a Bachelor of Engineering in chemical engineering at the time, and then found myself in the nuclear industry. So I started my career with Atomic Energy of Canada Limited. It was a federal crown corporation, and then moved into different positions over the years. Also spent a few years with the provincial government, with the Ministry of Energy in Ontario. And then most recently, I came to CANDU Owners Group and working with Arshad in the nuclear industry. And it's a collaborative program. We do R&D, we do research and projects for the industry. And we also do a lot of information exchange for them. So in this role, I've been here for 2.5 years in this role as the president and CEO.
Thank you, Rachna. Yeah, so you mentioned that you graduate in engineering.
Yes.
So what inspired you to study engineering?
So it's a good question. So I was always strong in math and science, and I enjoyed physics and chemistry. I used to actually enjoy chemical experiments where you could blow things up. But my father is an engineer, and actually all of the uncles that I have, so my chachajis and are all engineers on my father's side. And on my mother's side as well, we have many engineers. No female engineers. And so when I was young, I think for me that felt like a challenge. But also because of my areas of interest, my father encouraged me to move into engineering as a career. And so I did want to do it because it offered that opportunity to do problem solving and to just really invent something new. So it's been a good fit for me.
And then how you decided to go into nuclear?
So I actually never studied nuclear energy in university. It just so happened that when the jobs were posted the year I graduated, there was a position at Atomic Energy of Canada Limited for a safety analyst. It didn't require any nuclear background. They were just looking for chemical engineering and some other engineering. And so I applied to that position and found myself in the nuclear industry.
Thank you. Okay, so you start like, let's say, from the very beginning. And now you are president, CEO of a big company with the multi-million budget. So what happened? Like, how did you become CEO and president in such a short time?
So it's not a short time.
It's a short time.
25-year career.
That's nothing,
But, I don't think I ever envisioned that I would move into this leadership role. A lot of it was just as I moved through my career, I ended up in positions of management. And then, I had a lot of support from my peers, but also from mentors and people behind the scenes who were sponsors for my career, who had decision-making authority and really helped elevate me. And I think I've never said no to an opportunity. I've always said yes, even if I may not be an expert in that area, I've always taken on the opportunity. And so I think that has really helped elevate my career.
So, so did you have like any like sort of memory, like where you have some kind of like challenges during your this path here?
Yeah. So I'm in a male-dominated industry, right? There are most of the leaders are men. It's starting to change slowly, but it's taken a lot of time. So there were challenges. There were challenges for me to move into management as a woman, but also, you know, as an Indian woman, right? Moving through, it wasn't easy. I always had to prove myself more, had to demonstrate that I could do the role. But I think, you know, with all of those challenges, it actually just motivated me more. I wasn't scared of dealing with, you know, difficult situations, and I had no, you know, issues about proving myself. I've always stayed true to who I am, and that's actually helped me move through my career. So, you know, I think a lot of those challenges, when people face them, you just have to look at the positive side. You know, what did you learn from the challenge? And
Thank you.
that's how I've always managed.
Thank you, Rachna. I've said in my beginning statement that we are here to contribute like in the development of Canada. So since you are in the nuclear, how nuclear helping, let's say, Ontario and Canada?
It's an excellent time for nuclear energy. There's a real focus around clean energy. Nuclear power doesn't have any emissions. And so in Ontario, 60% of our electricity is through nuclear energy, through nuclear plants. And that energy is clean. There's no emissions from nuclear power. The waste that is produced, we know where all of it is, and it's managed, and it's been managed safely for over 40 years. So as the country looks to building more electricity, nuclear power is definitely one of the areas that they're looking to leverage. In addition to that, what's unique about the Canadian technology, it's called the CANDU, is it actually produces isotopes for medical research. So these isotopes are they can save cancer patients, and they can be used in hospitals for sterilization. It's a big benefit about nuclear power, but specific to the Canadian technology.
Thank you so much. So that means the nuclear not only produce the electricity, it also produces those isotopes, which
Yes.
Used by the medical professionals. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you so much. Okay, so since like nuclear energy is just not in Canada, I mean, I think it's in other countries too. We have exported the CANDU reactor to other countries. So, and when you deal with the other countries, sometimes there's language barriers, sometimes there's cultural barriers. And how, like, you're being a CEO and president of this company, how you handle those hurdles?
Thank you for the question. So we're very proud actually to be a global organization. There are 7 countries around the world in addition to Canada that have the CANDU technology. And some of our earliest members actually were India and Argentina and Pakistan. They joined us in the mid-80s. And so for 40 years they've been members with our organization. So we really value the engagement and relationships. Our international members, they use us for benchmarking and for best practices, and they exchange information with operator to operator to ensure that they can improve performance at their stations. So a big part of this process is having what we call a member relations manager. So this is someone who speaks the language fluently, is well versed with the culture, often is born in that country or raised from a family of that country. And sometimes they will live over there as well. So they'll spend some time in Canada, spend some time in the other country. But their role is very important because they provide that link to the other country. It's so important for us to honor and value the cultural beliefs, the way of life, and the things that are important to people from other countries, because we don't only provide the nuclear power, but we want to embrace the culture. CANDU technology was actually the largest export that Canada has ever had. And so it built country-to-country relationships.
Thank you, Rachna. So you said like this technology exported to other countries too. So how a country, let's say in the north, can help to the south?
Yes, so a lot of what we've been doing in Canada, because we own the technology, we have actually done something called refurbishment. So, the reactors had a certain life. We've helped, refurbish them and get them prepared for another 40 years of operation. Well, our international members are now looking at that as well. So we're working with them to help them with, kind of how they can plan their projects. What are some of the things that we learned as lessons that they can apply to their project into ensuring that they've got their reactors running longer. Similarly, in Romania, they're planning to build new CANDU reactors. And so again, they turn to our COG members for sharing of information.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very interesting thing. And you say like at this point it's CANDU Energy, and also what I have heard, like there are another technologies coming, SMR. Mm-hmm. So what is SMR?
So SMR stands for Small Modular Reactors. So these are generally, in Canada, these are reactors that are 300 megawatts or smaller. So the large ones are roughly 700 to 1,000. So these would be less than half that size. The advantage of these is that they are smaller. They can be put in different areas, more flexible for the grid and for electricity purposes. Also could potentially be more cost effective to build. And also they are newer designs. So they have some safety features in there that are more enhanced than some of the larger reactors, which can make them, like they call it, passive safety systems. So overall, it brings flexibility. There's also the opportunity now for other provinces in Canada to build nuclear because these are smaller, so they'll fit better with their needs. So this is essentially what SMRs are, and they're going to be built actually in Ontario first.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much. So since you mentioned that you're just handling the CANDU reactor, but now you mentioned that you're also going to do SMR. So what are the chances of your company maybe involves other, type of reactors?
So our own members, so Ontario Power Generation is one of our members. As you mentioned, they are planning to build an SMR at their station, and they are currently running CANDUs. Overseas, we have members in Romania also planning to build SMRs. In Korea, they have their own SMR design. In China, they have their own SMR design. So, COG is all about collaboration. We do support CANDUs primarily, but the future may hold more than that. We are ready to support other technologies because the collaboration model works. And for 40 years, it has been very effective for our members. So we'll see what the future holds.
Oh, thank you so much, Rachna. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think that's enough for this sitting. And I want to ask, if you have any message for our, new generation, that how they can get involved with the nuclear industry.
No, thank you. I think what I would say is the nuclear industry is going through a renaissance. There's lots of opportunity. We need skilled people. We need people who have an interest. We're looking for all kinds of capabilities, all kinds of skill sets. So I would encourage young people that are interested to apply. Go onto the websites for the utilities, look at their HR pages. They're all at the universities, the colleges, recruiting. So, go up to someone from one of the utilities and talk to them about job opportunities. But nuclear is a great area of work. Stable work, long-term, highly paid jobs, and really good with work-life balance. So I would encourage young people to consider it as a profession.
Thank you so much, Rachna. So, folks, that's the end of our show. And as usually, I want to say thanks to Alicia, the CEO of Z9 Studio, who provided us this facility. Thank you so much. So long. See you guys later.